So you know there's this massive Second Amendment march in Virginia. The governor declares some kind of nonsense emergency because he thinks that the white nationalist Nazi type people are going to come with their guns, and he says no guns are going to be allowed within the capital area, and people are fighting it in a lawsuit, and the judge said no, he has the right to do that, and well, we're going to take it to the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court says, well, no, we don't want to look at it, but you can have your gun outside the little fenced off area if you'd like, because you're allowed to. And no sooner is all this happening, I've been seeing it a couple times on Twitter, they're showing an advertisement, crisis actors needed, really close, pretty much in this area of question where these protests are happening. Crisis actors needed for emergency management, you know, one of those deals. Like getting ready for a damn false flag. So I just want to start by saying that, because he mentions it in this video too, in this article. Zero Hedge. U.S. military jams GPS across East Coast as FBI seizes night vision devices. What the? Authored by Mike Adams via naturalnews.com. Another good guy. In case you didn't fully realize that something big is about to take place in America, file these two facts. 1. The U.S. military Carrier Strike Group 4 is jamming GPS signals from January 16th to 24th, which may overlap the planned deep state false flag event in Richmond, Virginia, which he links to. And I will, again, right-click, open that real quick for Natural News' story on that. Breaking, Democrats conspiring to stage false flag bloodshed on January 20th in Virginia. Charlottesville 2.0 in order to ignite a civil war and mass chaos, says Mike Adams. Again, this is him saying that. The stage is being set by Democrats and the complicit left-wing media, CNN, to turn January 20th Lobby Day in Richmond, Virginia, into a false flag bloodbath that will attempt to frame gun owners as terrorists and provide the justification for statewide martial law and the confiscation of all firearms from citizens. Ultimately, the plan is to escalate the conflict into regional civil war and widespread chaos that Democrats hope would destabilize America and remove Trump from office, no matter what it takes. We are issuing this urgent warning because all the signs of this imminent false flag are rapidly falling into place. For example, yesterday, the pro-infanticide blackface-wearing governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, issued an executive order filled with false, deliberately deceptive information that lays the groundwork for framing gun owners as terrorists. That executive order is found at this link and is titled Declaration of a State of Emergency Due to Potential Civil Unrest at the Virginia State Capitol. By the way, that's illegal because you can't say there's a potential problem that this, you potentially might change your mind one day and decide to rob that bank, so I'm going to arrest you now. No, you have to have articulate, reasonable suspicion. I saw him put a mask on, Your Honor. He wouldn't pull the gun out and started heading for the bank door, so I drew down on him and told him to drop his weapon and I arrested him, Your Honor. Okay, you had probable cause. You thought reasonably he was about to commit a crime. Correct. Not someone sitting in their car drinking a coffee. You might rob this bank one day, right? You have to, that thing should say, due to the event happening, the governor has just now declared a national or a statewide emergency, state of emergency, because this event just happened. Not the potential for an event might happen. Anyways, the executive order falsely claims that credible intelligence has determined that armed militias intend to engage in violence, rioting, and insurrection. This is further confirmed by Governor Northam telling left-wing media sources that armed militia groups plan to storm the Capitol. Newsbusters is reporting that CNN is already laying out the Charlottesville narrative, preparing to blame gun rights supporters for the violence that left-wing operatives are conspiring to cause. Dave Hodges, The Common Sense Show, is also hearing from sources that say Antifa operatives are already in place, preparing to dress up like Trump supporters and commit acts of violence for CNN's cameras. It's all theater, of course, but in this case, at least, they can't cover their faces with black masks, so it's going to be more difficult for them to pull this off. Again, we also have what I just told you, this employment article thing. Oh, we're looking for people in this area that I'm telling you about to help with, crisis acting. It came up on the 14th of January. That ad, I think, was dated 14th, just days ago. So my question is, does Trump's awesome military intelligence people know everything these criminal Democrats are doing, including the governor and Antifa and all these people? And part of what they need to do is be able to communicate and use GPS to tell each other where to go. In the military, we're just doing an exercise off the coast, is shutting down their GPS capabilities like a boss. My opinion. I don't know. So this jamming exercise map released that they showed, the epicenter of the so-called exercise is off the coast of Georgia. The official FAA announcement claims that no jamming will take place on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But we don't trust the FAA, so your mileage may vary. Remember, too, that 90% of American population below the age of 30 has never read a paper map and cannot use a compass. The GPS jamming exercise continues through the 24th and affects South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, Alabama, and all of Florida. No kidding. The AOPA, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, has posted details of the warning here. It's again a link. FAA has also issued a flight advisory warning about the GPS lasting several days, whatever. So yeah, it goes into Virginia enough. Note that this is the U.S. military testing GPS jamming capabilities in anticipation of an event that would require such jamming, obviously. Consider the convergence of events now shaping up. There's 4 of them. The impeachment trial of President Trump by the U.S. Senate, presided over by the treasonous sellout Supreme Court Justice Roberts, who already sold out America on the Obamacare crap. Remember that? The fee is not a fine, it is a tax. But Obama said no taxes, remember? Supreme Court said it's a tax. And I had to pay it for years, by the way, because I did not have health insurance. That Justice Roberts, who already sold out America to Obama under the wildly unconstitutional Obamacare decision years ago. 2. The January 20th Lobby Day event in Richmond, Virginia, where deep state operatives are absolutely trying to put together a false flag event to cause violence and blame gun owners. The mysterious drone flights over Colorado, Oklahoma, and Nebraska recently, those drones must have GPS to do what they did, by the way. And if GPS isn't working, drone can't do what it was supposed to do. Anyway, so they're saying that too. That was in Colorado, Oklahoma, Nebraska, recently followed up by an emergency meeting with the Oklahoma legislator on a military base, where they were briefed about something horrific and life-altering. I wasn't even aware of that part. I'm going to have to go look into that one next. See if I can find something and tell you guys about it. The FBI's sudden attempts, this is the 4th one, the FBI's sudden attempts to confiscate high-end night vision tubes from distributors, indicating an emergency need for night vision capabilities in an agency led by a treasonous traitor, Christopher Wray, that has a long history of planning and carrying out terrorism plots across America, according to the New York Times and the Kansas City Star. So, moving on, FBI invokes eminent domain to seize high-end night vision tubes. The FBI is now claiming eminent domain to essentially seize high-end night vision tubes that power night vision goggles from distributors in the United States. This indicates that the FBI has an emergency effort underway to acquire large numbers of night vision devices in anticipation of some urgent event which will take place at night, possibly another FBI false flag operation like Oklahoma City or the 93 attempted World Trade Center bombing, which was entirely masterminded by the FBI, by the way. You can look into that. You'll probably be shocked at what you find. As Dave Hodges is reporting from the Common Sense Show, Bob Griswold from ReadyMadeResources.com relates a shocking event where he had already locked in the purchase of 70 night vision tubes from his distributor and had those tubes invoiced and committed. Within hours, the FBI claimed eminent domain over the tubes, effectively seizing them from the ready-made sources before they could even be shipped. Now, I want to say this. Is it possible that the FBI knows that these leftist criminal bastards plan on doing some major crap, another false flag, and they're going to be using night vision stuff as part of what they need to do to operate? So the FBI, for maybe once in their effing lives, now that swamp has been drained mostly, is deciding we're going to finally do the right things because we don't have effing criminal bosses above us forcing us to never do the right thing. So now we're going to do the right thing. And we're jamming GPS. We're going to not allow these people to have any kind of night vision capabilities. Have a nice day. I'd love to think that that's what's happening, by the way. I don't know. We received a letter from their distributor confirming that the government preempted the order and claimed they had ownership over the gear because they were, well, the government. An hour ago, I spoke with Griswold on the phone to confirm the situation, and he told me he thought there were no more than 200 high-end night vision devices remaining in the entire country, as far as the tubes go. This excludes the crappy Generation 1 and Generation 2 night vision devices, which nobody wants anyways. I'm told that inventory units are flying off the shelves and will be gone anywhere within the next 1 to 2 days. Yes, there is a run on night vision in America happening right now. Here's the relevant questions. What is the FBI planning that would require hundreds of night vision devices? Again, maybe it's not them planning it. It's the Antifa and those guys. And the FBI, for once in their freaking lives, have done something good. Because, again, the bad top echelon of criminals isn't in the organization anymore. Although, well, Joe, what about Christopher Wray? Okay. But a whole bunch of bad guys have been fired and let go from the FBI. He is their top guy. But if you're him right now, and intelligence came in that, hey, we've got some bad guys about to do something in Virginia, you think Christopher Wray, the lone guy there, none of my deep state friends around me, yeah, I'm going to continue this little spy operation, and everybody under me, all those guys are gone, but we're gonna now go back to the old deep state. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Again, I don't know. What is the FBI planning that would require hundreds of night vision devices? Answer, probably another bombing, mass shooting, mass casualty event, or some other terrorism flashpoint that the FBI is famous for causing. Just ask the church member of Waco, Texas, or not, since they're all dead, thanks to the FBI and ATF. Earlier this week, Alex Jones declared on his broadcast that the deep state was going to attempt to assassinate Trump next week. Could this military exercise and the FBI night vision devices and the drones scanning the Midwest all be related? Most likely, yes. Listen to my Urgent False Flag Warning podcast, which covers the possibility of deliberate violence being staged for Monday, January 20th in Richmond, Virginia. And you know what? If something does happen and Donald Trump himself declares martial law or something, national emergency, what powers does Trump all of a sudden have? That stuff goes two ways. The deep state just doesn't seem to get it. So we'll find out. I mean, we will find out. If I didn't have a baby boy about to come home in the next day or two, I'll be honest, I'd probably be on a plane right now. For my first time ever covering something like this live. Down there. I'm going to Virginia. I'm going. Hell, I might even drive the damn Tesla. You know what? I'm leaving today. I'm going to drive the damn Tesla. I'm out of here. Free supercharge. FBI, you're not confiscating Tesla supercharging stations on the way, are you, by chance? No? Okay, good. We'll take the Tesla. We'll go, no gas prices. I get free supercharging. We'll just drive that sucker all the way up to Virginia. And do that whole thing. Do a little broadcasting. But, again, my boy might be coming home. Today's actually the 10th day, Saturday. Woo-woo friend thought, I think he's going to be there about 10 days. And then you'll get him. He'll come home. So tomorrow, Sunday, will be the 11th day. And then we have the 12th day being Monday, if it happens to be that. The main thing is he has to do something for 5 days in a row without repeating it, and he's basically going to be on 3. So tomorrow's 4, Monday would be 5. He hasn't repeated it so far. He's 3 days into it. He's doing everything absolutely fine. Milk, latching on, bottles, everything. No need for oxygen, all that nonsense. He's good. And they want to see him drink like 40 milliliters or whatever it is, 40, I think milliliters of 45 of breast milk or formula. But Evelyn has been producing some serious milk, man, which is shocking because all the other kids, Evelyn wasn't doing real well producing milk, barely anything at all. And this time around, holy moly, she's about to make enough for 2 babies. So, again, I'd like to go. I'd like to go do something like this. This would be cool. Live stream. Hell, I might even invite someone with me. Let's roll. I'm driving, bitch. Get in. But I don't think I can do it, man. Because if he comes home tomorrow and I were to leave tomorrow to or even the next day because I got to go there and back. Yeah, I could fly, but honestly, I don't know. I'd probably drive. I can't do it. I want to, but my boy says no, not daddy. I'm gonna be home soon. Don't worry about that. Just sit in your little Realist News fake studio and report it. All right, just report it as if you were there. Okay. Guess that's what old Snip's gonna have to do.